What if Sanemi betrays the Demon Slayer Corps? We all know how strong Sanemi is, considering the fact that he fought against both Kokushibo and Muzan. And he's the only Hashira that survives the final battle against Muzan, besides Gyu Tomioka. Him betraying the Corps would literally change everything. However, considering the type of person he is and his immense hatred for demons, why would he even betray the Corps? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about that, so make sure to watch till the end. First, let's talk about Sanemi's background. In the original timeline, Sanemi comes from a poor family. His father used to beat his mother, but following his death, Sanemi had to become the breadbearer of his family. One night, he notices that his mother hasn't returned back home, and he ventures outside to look for her, only to discover that she has turned into a bloodthirsty demon. He has no other choice but to kill his mother. When his brother sees him covered in blood, he deems him guilty and starts hating him. This is where Sanemi comes to hate demons. Now, why would a guy who hates demons to such an extent betray the Corps? Well, for something like this to happen, we would have to make some changes in the original timeline. We all know that Sanemi actually loves his brother, but pretends not to. He's literally his only reason to be alive and continue being a demon slayer. He didn't want Genya to become a demon slayer, but he still became one to get stronger. Now this is where the fun begins. It was revealed in the manga that Genya actually devours demons to become stronger, and this is prohibited. In the original timeline, Genya doesn't face any penalty for this, nor does anyone know about it. However, what if someone accidentally witnessed him consuming demons and reports it to the Demon Slayer Corps? This would cause a massive outbreak. Demon Slayers all around Japan are in utter chaos. They cannot comprehend how a demon slayer can consume demons. This news eventually reaches Sanemi and the other Hashiras as well. A Hashira meeting gets called to discuss the matter. In this meeting, it's decided that Genya will get executed for this crime. Despite knowing that Genya is Sanemi's brother, the other Hashiras agree to this. Ubuyashiki explains that they have to set an example for other demon slayers, so things don't get out of hand and no one attempts such things in the future. Sanemi is devastated by this. He literally begs Ubuyashiki to forgive Genya this time and that he will discipline him, but the other Hashiras are against it. In the end, Genya gets executed in front of the demon slayers, and Genya couldn't do anything for his brother. Now this is where Sanemi's hatred for demons shift towards demon slayers instead. For him, Genya was his everything. The reason he worked so hard and became a Hashira was Genya. He wanted him to lead a happy life, but these demon slayers murdered him. From that point onward, Sanemi decides to take revenge against the Demon Slayer Corps. Even though his blood is boiling, he cannot make any rash decisions. He knows that if he takes immediate action against the Corps, they might suspect him. He takes his time and analyzes everything. Soon, he realizes that the only way he can take his revenge is to seek help from demons, specifically Muzan. He wanders around hopelessly searching for Muzan, but has no success. He even refuses some missions so that he can gather some hints regarding Muzan. He even comes across some demons searching for the blue spider lily, but couldn't get any information regarding Muzan's location. However, he finds it strange that demons were searching for a flower, and after some research, he figures out that these flowers might allow Muzan to walk under the sun. Following the events of the Swordsmith Village arc, where Tanjiro and the others survive and Nezuko gains the ability to withstand the sun, Sanemi realizes something. He realizes that Muzan would actually want Nezuko, since he also wants to walk under the sun, and decides to use her as bait. As Tanjiro and the others are on a mission, Sanemi renders Tanjiro and Nezuko unconscious, taking Nezuko alongside him. He makes it so that she doesn't see him. Muzan, on the other hand, had sent the upper moons to locate Nezuko, and one of them actually encountered her. It was actually Kaigaku, who had recently turned into a demon. He instructs Sanemi to hand over Nezuko, but he refuses. Instead, he reveals that he wants to make a deal with Muzan. Kaigaku, however, believes that Sanemi is mocking him and ambushes him, but Sanemi makes easy work of him. Sanemi doesn't kill him, instead he instructs him to relay his message to Muzan, urging him to meet with him. In the meantime, Sanemi hides Nezuko where Muzan and the Demon Slayer Corps cannot find her. Well, he's not foolish enough to believe that he can take on the Demon King himself. After some time, Muzan appears at the spot Sanemi had requested. He offers him Nezuko in return for his support in demolishing the Demon Slayer Corps. At this point, Muzan wants just one thing, and that is Nezuko, so he accepts his offer. Tanjiro and the other Hashiras, on the other hand, believe that the demons have captured Nezuko since she can walk under the sun. Sanemi executed his plan with such perfection that not even a single Hashira or Tanjiro doubts him. Some time passes as Sanemi looks for the perfect opportunity to make his move. His plan is to make the demons ambush Ubuyashiki Mansion and get rid of Ubuyashiki. Just when all Hashiras are out on some mission, Sanemi reveals the exact location of the Ubuyashiki Mansion to Muzan, urging him to kill the leader of the Demon Corps. Muzan has no other option but to obey him, and he launches a massive attack on the Demon Slayer Corps. In this battle, Ubuyashiki self-destructs himself and even sacrifices his family to lure in Muzan, but fails. Things proceed quite similarly to the original timeline, as Nakime opens the portal and teleports everyone inside the Infinity Castle. The story proceeds exactly like the original timeline, with the Hashiras facing Upper Moon demons. During all this, Muichiro, Sanemi, and Gyomei are up against Kokushibo. The Upper Moon One knows everything regarding Sanemi's plan. As the battle proceeds, Gyomei and Muichiro eventually awaken their Demon Slayer marks. Sanemi believes that Kokushibo might be in trouble here and attempts to sneak up on Gyomei, but Kokushibo stops him and warns him not to interfere in this battle. At this point, Muichiro and Gyomei are struggling against Kokushibo, without Sanemi. Muichiro urges Sanemi to aid them, but he completely ignores him. Seeing his vivid expressions, Muichiro immediately realizes that something is off. He rethinks everything that has happened in the past few months, and concludes that Sanemi has actually betrayed them. He then questions him regarding this mid-battle, but Sanemi ignores him again. Muichiro, however, keeps questioning him. For them, Sanemi was their trustworthy comrade, so why did he betray them? Hearing this, Sanemi finally breaks silence and reveals the reason behind his betrayal. For him, his brother was the only reason he worked so hard, became a Hashira, did everything he could, but the Demon Slayer Corps executed him. Muichiro and Gyomei cannot comprehend what Sanemi is saying. Kokushibo, on the other hand, warns Muichiro to focus on the battle, otherwise he might end up dead. With all of this happening, Muzan had taken some countermeasures and allocated some demons to locate Nezuko, and luckily they managed to find her during the Infinity Castle arc, as Sanemi and the others were battling Kokushibo. The demons report this back to Muzan and he summons them back to the castle. Now that Muzan possesses Nezuko, he orders Kokushibo to get rid of Sanemi as well, since they don't need him anymore. With this, Kokushibo ambushes Sanemi and reveals that they have acquired Nezuko and they no longer need him. This shocks Sanemi as his entire plan just collapsed. At this point, he has no other option but to fight back alongside Muichiro and Gyomei. Even though Muichiro is disgusted with Sanemi, he still agrees to battle alongside him because they want to defeat Kokushibo. After defeating Kokushibo, who basically commits suicide, it's time for the decisive battle. Muzan has no reason to keep Sanemi alive, and the battle proceeds quite similar to the original timeline. However, during the battle, Muzan reveals everything Sanemi had plotted against the Demon Slayer Corps. The other Hashira don't believe him, but Sanemi confirms this and gets frustrated. As he's standing there, sulking over everything, Muzan attempts to finish him off, but Tanjiro somehow saves him, which shocks him. Tanjiro reveals that even though he has betrayed the Corps and even kidnapped Nezuko for his purpose, he knows that Sanemi is not a bad person. The other Hashiras also agree with this, and the battle continues. In the final moments, Muzan realizes that the Demon Slayers are overpowering him, and he decides to use Nezuko as hostage. Just for a moment, Tanjiro and the other Hashiras stop moving after seeing Nezuko, and Muzan seizes this opportunity to run away. However, Sanemi sees through all this and stops him, saving Nezuko in the process. However, he suffers a grave injury as a result. Muzan, on the other hand, has no time as the sun rises and he turns into dust. Tanjiro and the remaining Hashiras rush towards Sanemi as he's taking his last breaths. He apologizes to all of them for his mistake, and with this, he dies. This raises other questions, like what if Sanemi had turned into a demon after his brother's death? Well, we can talk about that in some other video. In the meantime, you can check out this other cool anime video on your screen. Click on it to see. Bye!